Slaking is one of the most powerful Pokemon in the entire game, with hacks, which may seem strange. Slaking is a Pokemon that is pretty terrible competitively in the base game. While it has amazing stats, it has the horrible ability Truant, which exists as a deliberate handicap. Truant means Slaking cannot act on every other turn, which makes it very exploitable and difficult to use. But using hacks, Pokemon can have their abilities replaced with any other ability in the game. They can also get whatever moves they want. This can make for some really overpowered combinations that push Pokemon's mechanics to the limit. Slaking is obviously one of the greatest Pokemon at abusing hacks. Replacing its horrible ability Truant will not only remove its greatest drawback, it'll push Slaking to a ridiculous level of power. Slaking has stats that rival some of the best legendaries in the game, and it is seriously scary in hacked Pokemon. Let's take a look at the different ways that Slaking can abuse hacking. Subscribe to the channel for your own self-interest. Thank you. There are two hacked competitive Pokemon formats that people play: Pure Hackmons and Balanced Hackmons. Pure Hackmons is a format without any restrictions. Anything is possible and there are no rules. Balanced Hackmons, on the other hand, does have rules. This is a format for people that want to play with hacked Pokemon but don't want to deal with over-centralizing abilities like Wonder Guard, Huge Power, and Contrary. Sometimes having some rules in place creates a bit more variety in strategies. Whichever kind of Hackmons you prefer, and both have their appeal, Slaking has been a dominant force in both Pure and Balanced Hackmons over the years. In Generation 3 Pure Hackmons, most consider Slaking to be the best Pokemon in the entire game. What's interesting about Generation 3 Pure Hackmons is that abilities can't actually be altered in this generation. Hacks weren't able to do that yet. You could completely customize Pokemon's movesets with hacks, but abilities remained static. But what you could do is remove a Pokemon's ability. Most of the time, this is not very good, obviously, but on Slaking, who has Truant, an actively disadvantageous ability, removing that ability turns Slaking into an absolute monster. Slaking without an ability can abuse Belly Drum and Extreme Speed for one of the most powerful combos in the game. With that monstrous base 160 attack stat, incredible bulk, and even a high power priority attack with Stab to abuse, it's clear to see why this is such a force to be reckoned with. If Slaking is this good without an ability, imagine how good it would be with one. From Gen 4 onwards, this would be possible now, as hacks would allow abilities to be fully customizable. And in just about every single generation, Slaking is a premier hacked Pokemon choice. This Pokemon's stats are good enough on its own to do whatever you want with it, really, but the two most common abilities you would see on Slaking in Hackmons are Wonder Guard and Huge Power. Wonder Guard is the ability of Shedinja, granting a complete immunity to all attacks except those that are super effective. This is the most broken ability in the Pokemon series. In the base game, this doesn't matter that much because it's on a Pokemon that is so terrible, but in hacked Pokemon, this is the best ability in the game. Normal types are pretty good with Wonder Guard. Arceus commonly uses it because normal types only have one weakness to fighting. Slaking can leverage the free turns provided by Wonder Guard and all of its immunities to boost up and sweep game. Huge Power is another absurdly overpowered ability in Pokemon. This ability simply doubles a Pokemon's attack stat. Every Pokemon that gets this ability in the base game has a low base attack stat so that it's not too overpowered. But in hacked Pokemon, you can give it to something with a massive base attack stat like Slaking. The damage output that Slaking can achieve with Huge Power is unbelievable. Gen 7 Pure Hackmons is the most popular Pure Hackmons format because of all the options available. You can use every Mega Form, and you can even use Z moves without requiring a Z Stone. A popular set on Slaking here is Huge Power with Silk Scarf. Silk Scarf simply boosts your normal type damage. Fake Out is a great option, a priority move that flinches the enemy 100% of the time. Extreme Speed is obviously still as excellent as ever. And another very common choice is Sun Steel Strike, a steel type physical attack that is able to bypass enemy abilities. This is one of the most common ways in Hackmons to deal with Wonder Guard Pokemon, as it can ignore their Wonder Guard ability and hit through the immunity. Some other options abused on Slaking in Gen 7 Pure Hackmons include Knockoff, which I'm sure you're familiar with, a hard-hitting dark type attack that removes the enemy's item. Spore is always a great choice in Hackmons, a 100% sleep-inflicting move. And another option is Gastro Acid. Gastro Acid is a utility move that cancels the effect of the enemy's ability. This can actually be used to get rid of Wonder Guard and hit them with normal type attacks. You can also get rid of other advantageous abilities like Fur Coat that provide defense. In a world full of Pokemon's most overpowered abilities, cancelling the effects of abilities is obviously very useful. In Gen 9 Balanced Hackmons, the version of Hackmons with more more rules in place, Slaking had a controversial and problematic career. This Pokemon was under a lot of fire as it got banned, unbanned, and then banned again. Huge Power and Wonder Guard are both banned in balanced Hackmons, and I'm sure you can see why, as these abilities are extremely over-centralizing. The entire metagame comes down to countering them. So Slaking's ability of choice initially in Gen 9 balanced Hackmons was Poison Heal. Poison Heal is the ability of Pokemon such as Gliscor and Breloom, and it is one of the best abilities in the game as well. With Poison Heal, instead of taking damage from poison, you will be healed by it for 1/8 of your health every turn. This is double the amount of health provided by Leftovers, and Leftovers is already a very common item. You can self-inflict poison with the Toxic Orb item to activate Poison Heal. And what's even better about Poison Heal is that it effectively grants a status immunity. In Pokemon, you can't be inflicted by another status ailment if you're already statused, so effects like Burn and Sleep are completely ineffective against a poisoned Pokemon. While Leftovers can be knocked off or removed with effects like Trick, the healing from Poison Heal can't. Since your healing comes from being poisoned, it doesn't matter if your Toxic Orb gets knocked off or removed somehow, you'll still heal just the same. With Slaking's excellent bulk, it benefits greatly from that healing and status immunity. But being poisoned also provides Slaking with another benefit. Slaking can use Stab Facade. Facade is a 70 power move that doubles in power if the Pokemon using it is statused. Since you're poisoned by your own Toxic Orb, you can take advantage of a 140 power normal type attack, which is incredibly powerful. Gen 9 also introduced an amazing new boosting move, Victory Dance, for Slaking to take advantage of. Victory Dance is borrowed from Hisui and Lilligant, and acts pretty much like a physical version of Quiver Dance, boosting attack, defense, and speed in a single turn. This Victory Dance Poison Heal Slaking set was unstoppable almost. With its defense, attack, and speed ramping up all at once, it was hard to KO this. It was too bulky. It hits ridiculously hard, and it very quickly snowballs out of control to unkillable levels. Slaking was banned for this reason, after overwhelming the format for quite some time. As some time passed, what ended up happening was that Poison Heal itself was banned from balanced Hackmons. Since Poison Heal was now banned, it seemed fair to unban Slaking. He was mostly overpowered because of his ability to abuse Poison Heal, and without that option, maybe he would be okay again. But Slaking adapted to this new environment and found new ways to be broken. A simple way to abuse Slaking was just to give it Guts. Guts is a great offensive ability that provides an attack boost if the Pokemon is statused. It also provides immunity to the damage halving effect of Burn. With Guts and a Flame Orb, Slaking could still abuse Facade. It was even more powerful because of the Guts attack boost, and it was still impervious to status. Burn does not work against this because it's already burning itself, deliberately for the damage boost. This set could also abuse Victory Dance and snowball out of control very quickly in much the same way as the Poison Heal set. Another amazing new tool that Slaking received in Generation 9 was the signature move of Mouse Hold, Population Bomb. Population Bomb is a ridiculous move. This is a multi-hit move with 20 power that hits up to 10 times. Only Mousehold can get it, and Mousehold only has 75 base attack, so it's not too overwhelming. But on Slaking, this is obviously ridiculous and hits absurdly hard. So Slaking ended up getting rebanned again in balanced Hackmon. In Gen 9 pure Hackmons, Slaking is allowed because everything's allowed, and it's just as good as ever, abusing many of the same tools it always has, but with even more tools at its disposal now. Slaking might just be the Pokemon that benefits the most from hacks in the entire game. Hacks turn Slaking from unviable garbage into a god tier threat that is incredibly difficult to answer.